So there's this metal monstrosity called the Shrike. It lives backwards through time, has 4 arms, impales people on a tree made of razor wire, and may or may not be a god, or a time-traveling AI construct, or your therapist's final form. Welcome to Hyperion, where you won't find a hero, but you might find transcendence, or a migraine. Dan Simmons' Hyperion isn't just a book. It's a grenade lobbed at genre convention, wrapped in a Keatsian fever dream and set to detonate your expectations. First published in 1989, it was the sort of thing that made other sci-fi writers put down their typewriters and seriously consider taking up artisanal sourdough instead. You think you're in for some straightforward space opera? Adorable. This is literary origami. The plot folds in on itself, whispers poetry in your ear, then stabs you in the spine with a quantum blade. It starts with 7 pilgrims on a journey across a hostile world to meet a creature that kills everyone who meets it, unless it likes you, in which case it kills you more slowly. Along the way, they pass the time the old-fashioned way, sharing personal stories of trauma, despair, and eldritch horror. Like the Canterbury Tales, had a love child with Blade Runner and then raised it on Philip K. Dick and red wine. The first tale is from a priest. His story involves a jungle planet, a parasitic crucifix that resurrects you against your will, and a theological breakdown so severe it could cause a synod to spontaneously combust. It's cosmic horror with a side order of Eucharistic body horror. Think The Exorcist meets Alien in a confessional booth. Next, we get a soldier's tale that's essentially softcore war porn, but make it time-looped. Our protagonist falls in love with a woman who keeps appearing and disappearing across his fragmented timeline. It's like Memento, if Memento had more guns, less subtlety, and way more sex. The Shrike is there too, watching, maybe giggling. Who knows what it does with all those arms? The poet story? Oh, buckle in. This man is a walking ego who drinks, screws, and insults his way through a collapsing universe while waxing lyrical about the decline of human culture. It's the most self-aware bit of self-loathing you'll read this decade. Imagine Bukowski in space, if Bukowski had a vocabulary and a death wish involving ancient killbots. Then there's the scholar. His daughter is aging backwards because she was exposed to a time field. Cute at first, terrifying soon after. He's watching her regress into infancy and forget who he is. This is the one that hits you in the gut, takes your wallet, and leaves you weeping on the floor. It's about memory, love, and the brutality of time, wrapped in enough theoretical physics to make Hawking twitch. The detective? Cyberpunk noir, of course. Femme fatales, androids, religious fanatics, and a plot so convoluted it's practically a Klein bottle. She's hired to track down a cybrid, a human-shaped AI who may be a reincarnation of John Keats. Yes, that Keats, the romantic poet, reborn as a sexy robot. Just smile and nod. You're in Hyperion now. Finally, the consul. His story is about love and betrayal on a planet colonized by backwater hippies. He falls in love with a woman named Siri, not the iPhone one, and gets caught in a centuries-long mess involving interstellar politics, rebellion, and the crushing weight of regret. There's time dilation, lost decades, and a quiet melancholy that somehow screams louder than all the Shrike's violence. And that's the thing. Beneath the gore, the AI conspiracies, and the time-traveling crucifixion fetishism, Hyperion is weirdly tender. It's about people facing oblivion and still bothering to tell stories, about pain and faith and how language might be the last thing that saves us from oblivion. Or maybe it just delays the inevitable. The Shrike, by the way, never explains itself. Simmons doesn't give you closure. He doesn't even give you a real ending. The book stops mid-sentence like a broken prayer. If you want answers, you'll have to read The Fall of Hyperion, and even then, Simmons will probably just hand you another poem and ask you to bleed on it for insight. But Hyperion is a masterpiece, and not just because it's smart. It's smart in a way that mocks smartness. It's literary, but it also knows when to blow things up and get weird. It doesn't care if you like it. It cares if you feel it. You will, eventually. After you Google Keats' Hyperion poem explained like I'm 5, and give yourself carpal tunnel trying to trace the difference between the technocore, the ousters, and the hegemony. But when the pieces click, when the stories echo back through each other, and you realize this isn't just a pilgrimage through space, but through grief, loss, and the long fall of humanity into something stranger, that's when you understand. The Shrike doesn't kill everyone. Sometimes it just makes you think, which, depending on your tolerance for existential dread, might be worse.